Welcome back to Project 365. I'm Corey with SB Pace, and today's question about disaster preparedness is how do I identify gaps? Well, I think we touched on this yesterday, but you identify gaps by first documenting your processes and then just looking at the areas where there's bottlenecks, where there's unknowns, where people are over leveraged. Um, and this is all in regards to disaster planning. If we're talking about building out a future state and all of that, gap analysis really means something else there. But the gaps we're talking about here are places where your business is at risk. So it's documenting a process, looking at it from start to finish, and just identifying those critical pieces within that process, those things that have to happen in order for this process to continue. And if in theory every step in a process is quote unquote critical, but you can always kind of get around some of that depending upon the complexity of that process, and there's you can always take some shortcuts and stuff like that. So just figuring out where like if it's a person, for example, or a piece of equipment, if this piece of equipment goes down, this entire process stops. So that's what you need to solve for. There's, if it goes down, can I rent another one? How quickly does it take to get somebody here to fix it? Is there a manual way to perform that process? Do I have to hire people to do that? All of those things. And then understanding the cost, because as we talked about earlier, this month is you want to understand cash flows. And if it's going to be a higher cost, how long can you sustain that? That's kind of it in a nutshell when we're talking about gaps in this instance or this scenario. Tune in tomorrow for more.